What is up, class? Welcome back. Today we are looking at the OG Rags to Riches story. Seriously, if this was a Netflix series, it would be trending #1 worldwide. We're talking about Joseph, the dreamer. We've got jealousy, we've got prison breaks, we've got zombie cows, kinda, and the biggest family drama you can imagine. But here is the rule for today: active recall. That means I'm not just gonna lecture at you. I'm gonna pause, and you have to fill in the blanks. If you're just listening, you're forgetting. So, keep your brains turned on. Let's go? Okay, meet Joseph. He's the 11th son of Jacob. Now, imagine a family with 12 brothers. It's chaos. But Joseph? He's the favorite, the golden child. His dad gives him a special gift. Now, in the Bible, it's called a coat of many colors. But in today's terms, this was designer drip. It was a limited edition, one-of-a-kind hoodie that says, "Dad loves me more than you." Quick question. If your younger brother showed up to school in a brand new PS5 outfit while you were wearing hand-me-downs, how would you feel? You'd be jealous. And that's exactly how Joseph's brothers felt. They hated him. To make matters worse, Joseph starts having dreams. He dreams that wheat sheaves and even the stars are bowing down to him. He tells his brothers, "Hey guys, I had a dream where you all bowed down to me." That is like telling the varsity football team that you, a freshman, are going to be their captain and they have to carry your gym bag. It didn't go over well. So, the brothers snap. They throw Joseph into a pit, a dry well, and decide to kill him. But they change their minds and sell him to slave traders instead. Joseph goes from the favorite son to a slave in Egypt. Joseph arrives in Egypt. He's bought by a guy named Potiphar. Now, most people would give up. They'd cry in the corner. But Joseph? He levels up. He works so hard that Potiphar puts him in charge of the whole house. But then, the conflict. Potiphar's wife tells lies about Joseph. Fake news, total fabrication, and Joseph gets thrown into prison. Let's recap. Joseph went from 1. The favorite son, to what? A slave. 2. From a top-tier manager, to what? A prisoner. Every time he climbs up, he gets kicked down. But does he quit? No. Even in jail, he becomes the guy running the prison. That is called resilience. So Joseph is in jail for years. One day, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, has a nightmare. Imagine 7 big, muscular cows coming out of a river. Then, 7 skinny, zombie-looking cows come out and eat the muscular cows. Pharaoh is freaking out. No one can explain it. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembers Joseph. Hey, there's a guy in jail who can interpret dreams. Joseph is cleaned up, brought to Pharaoh, and says, "God will give you the answer." He explains that the dream means 7 years of great food, abundance, followed by 7 years of starvation, famine. It's like knowing the stock market is going to crash 7 years from now. If you know that, you can prepare. Pharaoh is so impressed he promotes Joseph on the spot. Think fast. Joseph was a prisoner in the morning. By the afternoon, what was his rank? Second in command of all Egypt. He is basically the prime minister. He goes from wearing prison rags to wearing the royal signet ring. That is the ultimate glow-up. 7 years go by. The famine hits. People are starving everywhere, except Egypt, because Joseph stored all the grain. Guess who shows up looking for food? His brothers. The same guys who threw him in a pit. They bowed down to him, just like the dream. They don't recognize Joseph because he looks Egyptian now. Joseph has all the power. He could snap his fingers and have them arrested. He could say, "Remember the pit? Have fun in the dungeon." Put yourself in Joseph's shoes. You have the power to destroy the people who ruined your life. What do? Revenge or mercy? Joseph chooses mercy. He reveals himself. He cries so loud the Egyptians can hear him. His brothers are terrified, thinking he's going to kill them. But Joseph drops one of the most famous quotes in the entire Bible. He says in Genesis 50 verse 20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." He realizes that if he hadn't been sold, he wouldn't be in Egypt to save the world from starvation. He forgives them and moves his whole family to Egypt. Okay, class, let's break this down. Why is this a classic? 1. The Rags to Riches arc. This is the blueprint for every superhero movie. Conflict, betrayal. He was literally at rock bottom, the pit. Turning point. Using his unique talent, dream interpretation, to solve a problem no one else could. Climax, the reunion. 2. Resilience. Resilience is like a rubber band. When you get stretched or pulled down, do you snap or do you bounce back? Joseph didn't let his environment define him. In the pit, he survived. In slavery, he worked hard. In prison, he became a leader. Lesson: you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. 3. Forgiveness. This is the hardest part. Revenge feels good for like 5 minutes. Forgiveness heals your future. Joseph realized that holding a grudge weighs you down, not the other person. He saw the big picture, that God used a bad situation to create a massive win. All right, before the bell rings, let's see what stuck. Rapid fire. 1. What was the object that made Joseph's brothers jealous? The coat of many colors. 2. What weird animals did Pharaoh dream about? Cows, fat ones and skinny ones. 3. Complete the quote. What you intended for evil, God intended for good. You guys crushed it today. Remember, be resilient like Joseph, and try to forgive even when people are acting like total NPCs. I'll see you in the next video. Class dismissed.